was thinking about the government, and this isn't going to be a video where like I pick a side and I bash the other side, or I say someone's wrong because of this, or Trudeau's done the wrong thing, or Ford's. It's not about that. I've really been thinking about the government as a whole and what it does for us. Now, don't get me wrong at all. I don't think that our government is evil or tyrannous or bad, but I do think it does the wrong thing sometimes. Now, is that their fault? Well, in a way, and it is our fault also. I mean, we are the ones that vote and put these people in power. I just think that the governmental structure that we have right now is not working the way that we thought it would or the way it should. And I really wonder what we can do as Canadians about that. I find one of our biggest problems is that although we have the right to make changes, and if we stand together we can do that, we don't. For some reason, we don't stand up, we don't put our foot down, and we don't say no, we're not going to let this happen. And the next thing is, I don't even really know how to do that if I wanted to. I mean, do I try to start a protest? Do I build a group? I don't know, but I do know that until we figure out a better way of mm, managing our government, does that make sense? And making things a little bit less political. I mean, I know that sounds weird saying less political, but it's got to be a little bit less them versus us and a little more of how can we figure this out together. Because the fact of the matter is we all live in the same country and we all have to abide by the same rules. And the government doesn't always do things the way that the majority thinks that they should. Now, I'm probably wrong about 90% of everything I'm talking about, but I just feel that in this day and age, we can be doing better as Canadians. We shouldn't be struggling and fighting against our government for silly things. We shouldn't be fighting against our government for education. We shouldn't be fighting against our government to make sure that we have proper health care for our families and I get very frustrated about where we are and where we could be. And I think what annoys me the most about everything is the fact that a lot of people think that Canada is like America, and we're not. We are just saturated by American culture, and because of that, I think our own personal ignorance as people, and I'm not talking about everyone, I think I'm probably talking about myself the most, but our own personal ignorance is what stops us from doing what we need to do to have the kind of country that we really want. I don't know. Like I said, I'm probably wrong about 90% of the stuff that I'm talking about, but I really think that we as people need to be talking about how our government works, how we think it should work, and why it's not working the way that it should be. And it can't just be about voting for one person and having one person make those changes. And when they make a change that we don't like, blaming them for it. I think we need to look at the government as something differently and rebuild. And I know that sounds crazy and outlandish and something that might be impossible, but obviously what we have is okay, but it's not what it could be. And I've been told before that, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But the problem with that is that if you don't fix it, if you don't make it better, then at some point it's all going to crumble and you're going to be 10 times worse than you were if you would have made it better in the first place. Again, what do I know? Nothing. I'm just an average guy that thinks he can make it on YouTube. But I want to know what everyone else thinks. I want to know what your opinion is. What do you think of the government? Do they tax us too much? Does the money that we pay go to the right things? Do you think we should have a bigger government? Do you think we'd have a smaller government? Should we have little pieces that control different things that we control with our votes and making a group decision to choose to do a certain thing? Again, I want to know what everyone else thinks. Please leave the comments down below. Let's start a conversation on this. I want to hear, am I just the crazy guy that just wonders stupid things? Which I probably am. But I want to know if there's anyone else out there that's crazy with me. On that note, I'm going to end this bad boy. But before I do that, I will ask, please, if you liked what you see, hit the subscribe button. If you're not already a subscriber, hit the like button. Let me feel that like love. And share. Please share, share, share. Help get the Streamcam's name out there. And let's start more conversations. Let's start talking because I truly think that talking is the beginning of change. So, with all that said, you know how I'll do it. We'll catch you on the flip flop.